I'm going to title this, Once You Escape the Death Cult, There's No Going Back. And it might be one of 5, you know. What is the death cult? The befallen system. This is one of 5, I guess. The befallen system. I expect everybody to see it instantly, but I know that they don't, because it took me a lifetime to see it, so I kind of need to be patient with people. And most people will never see it. They won't see it. The death cult. What is it? You're in it. Your body, your actual physical body is the death cult. Mortal body, right? But Romans 8:11, God will quicken your mortal body. The same Spirit that raised Jesus from dead will quicken your mortal body. Time means befall. We say it really slow. Time means to befall. You're in a befalling state in time. If you're born again, you escape the death cult and you're outside of time because you're seated in the heavenlies in Christ. God and Jesus are outside of time looking down at this stupid simulated repeat training program, but it's not stupid because it's a birthing process. Every day is the same, and every storyline is the same, and it's all about your perception. As you grow spiritually in knowledge, truth, you see through this place. But it's going to take some time to see it. Meditation, separation, set apart, solitude, to just meditate on it. Some people can see it without doing all that, but that's a special gift I don't have. And so the system wants you so busy and upset and fear and worry and doubt and all that. It wants you so occupied with their politics, their news, their sports, their Hollywood, their movies, their music, their games, their football, their basketball, their hockey. And if you really look at each, whether it's a hockey game, a basketball game, football game, any of it, it's just red versus blue. It's just a repeat. It really is just kind of stupid, really. It's if you watch a hockey game, you'll see a time when they face off. The referee has black and white, and the two guys are facing off, red versus blue, and they put the puck down and fight for the puck. What does the puck represent? The baby, birthing in the baby, face-to-face turning, pushing out the baby. What is the baby? It's your new creature. It's the new you, the spiritual you. Going from the flesh mind to the spirit mind. So this death cult is what? Everything. Everything that man does in the energy of the flesh is death. Financial system crashing. Political system crashing. AI taking over, making you a slave. Corporate system supposed to be for the people. There was laws and bylaws that if the corporate system's not for the people, they shut it down. But now the corporate system is to enslave the people. You're in a death cult. There's nothing in a death cult that I want. There's nothing down here in a death cult that I want or want to be a part of. Nothing. And it should be the same for you. Adam and Eve dropped us down into the death cult. The fake reality bubble, delusions, illusions. It's a bubble. And it's a fake reality bubble. It's not even real. Your cars, your vacations. Let's say, okay, so you go on vacation. I had some coworkers tell me, they saw me working for 11 years and not go anywhere. They said, you need to go on vacation. Why? Why do I need to go on vacation? If I go to the beach, there's water, there's dirt, there's trees, there's rocks, there's sand. If I stay here, there's water, dirt, trees, rocks, sand. Same truth at the beach as is here. It's the same. Why do I need to go to the beach? Who am I going to go to the beach with? I told him. I said, why would I go to the beach by myself and just sit there and look at the same thing I'm looking at here? At least while I'm here, I'm making some money and building and remodeling and all that. And they couldn't hear me. They didn't laugh. They got mad. They got frustrated because they don't want to realize that every day is the same. Because once you realize that every day is monotonous, the same, it has to be inner renewal. But most people will never look at their inner man to be better because they think outside is where it's at, when the reality is inside is where it's at, and they'll never look at the inside. They'll never be introspective. They'll never grow. Charles Stanley, I remember listening to him a long time ago when I got saved, listening to Charles Stanley. He said, if you stay in the Word, you're going to grow. And if you get attacked, just dig into the Word. Dig into the Word. Now later on, he started going off onto the pop music, and then he left the King James and he left the music, the traditional music. So I said, rock and roll stuff. I quit listening to him, but I did learn a lot when I did listen to him. I probably think like Charles Stanley in a way, and I probably think like the fundamental Baptists, but I also have developed my own belief system, putting all the puzzle pieces together and tying them all together. I see the whole pie now. I don't see the partial, I see the whole. When somebody's talking to me in partiality, I know the whole and I know where they are. Whether they're legalists, emotionalists, Methodists, they're Methods, Pentecostal, Method, whatever. You can see the whole pie. Jezebel spirit, legalistic spirit. Speaking of that, when you start to really rise up out of the death cult, you're no longer under legalism, but it might look like legalism to somebody else. So let's say I'm riding in my ride share and we start talking, and I say, yeah, I don't have a TV. I haven't had a TV in 30 years. And they say, why? And any response that I give, they're going to think I'm a legalist because, watching TV is a sin. I didn't say that. I have nothing to see on there. There's nothing for me. It's a waste of my time. It's all a repeat. Just because I don't have a TV or a radio doesn't mean I'm being legalistic. I mean, yeah, I might live like the Amish, but I'm not Amish. The Amish are a works-based system. I don't cut TV off and music off because I'm a legalist. I cut it off because it's a waste of my time, waste of my brain. They're actually programming you with the worldly wisdom. I'm not stopping anything for legalism. If I stop eating sugar, it's not legalism. I just know it's healthy. If I stop drinking a 6-pack of beer every day, it's not because I'm legalist. Oh, you can't drink. No, it's because it's destroying my liver. If I stop anything, if I don't do something, it's not legalism. I just don't want to do it if it's not healthy. If it's healthy, I'm going to do it. I don't need to go to movies anymore. The reason is because they're all the same to me. If I've watched one time travel movie, I've seen them all. If I watch one love story, I've seen them all. If I've watched one horror show, which I don't, I've seen them all. Because every movie is pointing back to the cross, and it's actually pointing back to you. The reason you have tears when you watch a movie, because they're writing about you. So I'm not a legalist. If I stop doing something, it's because it's not healthy. It has nothing to do with rule-based religion. It has to do with, is it healthy? If I stop cursing, which I stopped that when I never cursed, really. My grandmother said, don't curse, and I didn't curse after that. But then it became a habit, and I don't do it. I don't curse because I'm a legalist. I can say a curse word. But why do I say it? Why would I say it? I don't need it. I have a strong vocabulary. I don't need a curse word. I can stress a point without a curse word. And the very fact that it's called a curse word, C-U-R-S-E, is a curse, why would you want to curse yourself? A curse word is cursing yourself. No, it ain't. It ain't cursing yourself. Yeah, it is. I don't care if you believe it or not. Look the word curse up. You're cursing yourself every time you open your mouth. The Bible says, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. The more you talk, the more sin. The Bible says the more you talk, the more sin in your life. When I'm at work, I just observe. They do a lot of talking and I'm just observing. I'm listening. If I don't have anything constructive to say that points to the spiritual, I really don't have anything to say. I'm definitely not going to be talking about basketball and football and hockey and anything down here. Because anything down here is just a repeat. You already know everything down. You've already played all the chess matches. You played one chess game, you played them all. You played one checker game, you play them all. If I'm going to sit back in the backyard, I'm going to be decoding how the birds act and move and all that stuff.
So your patience, just as a pilot for you today?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
If I'm going back in the backyard and sit out and watch the wildlife, I'm going to be decoding the wildlife, why they act the way they act, you know. Yeah, I can enjoy just their flight path or the way they jump and all that, but I'm decoding why they do it. What's the spiritual? Why is a squirrel called squirrely? Why is a squirrel squirrely? And how does that word fit into all this stuff? Why do the Democrats have the word rat in them? Why does Rockefeller say fell the rock? Why does Rothschild say child of wrath? You know people by their name. You know animals all the squirrels act the same. All the cats act the same. All the dogs act the same. All the birds act the same. Why? Because they're running on a program. They might have a little personality difference, but pretty much all cats and all dogs and all squirrels and all birds, they run on a program. The human should be able to escape the programs, and that's part of the death cult. So you've been programmed by Hollywood.
I got that deposit all taken care of for you.
All right, have a good one. You've been programmed by Hollywood, by the music, by your culture, by your bloodline, by your city and state, and by your political party. I wanted to cut it all off, and I did it. I cut the music. I remember saying, I'm going to cut the music off for 21 days. And after 7 days, I never cut it back on because it's a waste of my time. And it's just the same sine wave, up and down sine wave. It was the hardest thing ever to cut the rock music off because I used to like rock music. But when I cut it off and made I'm done, my whole world changed. Because once you cut off all the noise, you can hear from God on a daily basis, sometimes on an hourly basis. And what is more important than hearing from God? Nothing. But when you got all the bells and the whistles and the distractions and the merry-go-rounds and the bills, the bells and whistles and the bills and the work, I chose a career that I could have peace in. I might be on the spectrum a little bit, but I still can control my thoughts, behavior, and all that. I would rather be in control of my thoughts than somebody else. And if you're rubbing shoulders with anybody, they're actually trying to program an agenda for you, I want you to really think about what I'm saying. It's not that they're evil or bad, but if you're rubbing shoulders with somebody, they're trying to program an agenda. Like last night, I said something about I got a couple rentals, and this guy said, I already knew what he was doing. He started asking about it. I already knew by his first question, I knew he was going to say, "You got anything I can rent?" I already knew it because I've heard it 1,000 times. He thought he was slick. And so I'm in the car just talking to him. He's older black guy. He just needed an Uber ride, and I was just talking to him about life. And I saw his spirit change when he found out he might have a place to get over on somebody to live for cheap, you know. I saw his whole demeanor change, and he didn't even know I saw it. And I already knew what he was going to ask me before he asked me. Now think about that. How did I know his next 3 questions were moving towards an agenda? Because when you rub shoulders with anybody, they have their agenda. That's why it's so hard to be in an agreement. I don't care if it's a church, a job, a business, a marriage. People have their own agenda. And they're trying to get you to go along with their agenda in a nice way, sometimes in a mean way, but it has to be a win-win. It can't be a win-lose. And so if people start to think that way, okay, you learn what the other person's got going on, and you say it needs to be a win-win for both parties. And you know when you take a job, they'll lie to you. Yeah, you got all this vacation, you're going to do this. They tell you all the benefits, but they don't tell you the sacrifice. And so anytime somebody's trying to pull you into some kind of agreement, there's always this positive out there, but it's a slow, and you see it every time. They have an agenda. Instead of them looking at what you need or what you want and making it a win-win, they're actually focused on their agenda alone because they're selfish. And they think they can manipulate you and flip it all around and make you think it was your agenda to begin with. That's one of the sales. That's one of the training of the salespeople. They'll say, "Do you really want to close the sale?" "Yeah." Well, you got to get that person to believe it was their idea. So salesmen are master manipulators. Period. Car salesman, any kind of salesman, they're watching videos and reading videos how to make the sale and manipulate the person to make them think it was their idea. Yeah, I could have went into sales, but I wasn't going to compromise my soul and try to manipulate somebody. You either want the product or you don't. I'll sell you this car, and this is the price. And if you don't want it, period. If you do want it, we'll make it work somehow. And see, the way my mindset is, I would give them a discount just to get it sold. Because the more flow you got, the more you make. In other words, an average salesman says, instead of 20,000, I say, "Oh, I'm going to try to get 22." Well, think about it. If a salesman said, I'll take 19.5 just to keep it flowing, and you sell 10 cars a day instead of 1 a day, you create a flow. So see how the flesh mind is opposite? These business people who really don't know how it works. Somebody walked by with some body odor or something, or some perfume or something. They don't know that they're just greedy. Quit being greedy and the flow starts and you make more money with the flow. I know what I'm talking about because I ran a book business for 5 years online. I told my helper in China, I said, cut the price as 10 cents across the board. Yeah, but or $1 or something. Yeah, but you're going to lose money, she said. I don't care. I'm gonna have 60 books. I'm gonna make more money because the flow's up. I'm not trying to be rich. I'm just trying to create a flow. And the more flow, the more rich you get. But most people don't think like that because it's all about greed. Greed, 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 greed. Take, 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 take. But if you switch over to a service mindset, the more you serve one another, the better off you are. But most people don't think like that because the system has taught them to be selfish. You've been programmed. When there's unlimited resources, there's no scarcity. There's no such thing as a scarcity. It's all here. It's all happening. When I was going down the highway this last month, I would see all the trees, the stuff on the side. You could put watermelons, you could put tomatoes all down the highway, and nobody would ever be hungry. But they don't want you to do that because they want the scarcity lie to make everybody stressed out. Instead of being in peace, they want everybody stressed out. Part of the death cult. Scarcity is a death cult. It's all a lie.